Hey guys, welcome to episode 15, I think it is, of my Let's Play. We're down in our mine still, where we're setting up our turtle, and we've done a little bit of the programming for this now. So if we check our mine script, we have a function to take out a 1x3 bit, do a tunnel, do a 3x3, and then a function to make a 3x3 tunnel, and a function to refuel. And then we have that was a little test command we had in there. So now what we'd like to add to this is actually the ability to place torches as it goes. Now to do that, I think I'm going to add a variable at the top here that we can configure at will. So we'll make that torch spacing, and we'll set that to 6, and we'll just put a little comment how far apart torches are placed, just so that if you when I put this for download, you guys will be able to just see what these are doing. And yeah, in fact, maybe I should actually put that above just so you can see. How be easier to read if I put it up there, won't it? So, and it's just a double hyphen there to start a comment, if you were wondering what the double hyphen was doing. Okay, so now we want a function to place a torch, and we want it to actually do. How do we want to do this? Yeah, so let's call this function place torch, and all this is going to do is place a torch when we tell it to, because we may want to hard code in certain torch placements, like the end of the tunnel and things like that. Some torch placements we want to have it calculate itself, but otherwise this function by itself is just going to take a torch and place it down. So the way we're going to do this is, what we're going to do is we want to say have torches in one slot, so we'll have a slot dedicated to torches, and we want to make sure that what's in that slot is actually a torch before we place it down. And to do that, we need to compare it to a known torch, just the same. That way we're not gonna like place down cobblestone once we run out of torches and that starts filling up with the stuff that we're digging. So to do that, what we need to do is we need to select the block that we're going to have our torches placed in, or the slot, which is slot 16, which is this end slot here. So we're going to select that slot, and then we're going to say if turtle compare to 15, which is the slot in front of it, this one here, then place down end. So what that function there is going to do is going to see if there's a torch in this slot. If there is, it's going to put one down, and we can test that by doing, or just calling the place torch function. So when we run mine, oh, no loop to break. On line 50 we have a problem. Let's have a look, see what's happening there. Okay. Maybe we should just make that as a return instead. Oh my. So there, it's just placing a torch. And if we take that torch out to give it nothing to compare against, and we do mine, it's not going to place a torch because it thinks that what it's got there isn't actually torches. So that part works. Or actually, just to prove the point, let's do it with cobble. And it's not going to put the cobble down because it knows it's not a torch. As soon as you place it with torches, it's going to place one down. Excellent. So let's go in and change this again, because we don't want that doing that. In fact, I am wondering why it errored then and didn't before. So let's have another function that's going to run off of that one. In fact, I think these may need to be... Actually, no. No, this is fine. I thought we might need to move them up a little bit so that we could use them in the previous functions, but I don't think we need to. So we can do a check torch, and we're back. Sorry about that. I had a little bit of a Java crash for some reason. And let's go back and see where we were. See how much we've got left. We have place torch. Right, that was our test. So we want to make a function. Let's get back. Check torch. And what this is going to do is it's basically going to calculate whether or not we need to place a torch based on where we are in our tunnel. And to do that, we need to actually have a variable that we bring in with this function. Actually, what should we call it? Call it progress. It's as good as anything. So what we want to do, let me just check to make sure I get this right. If progress, and that's mod torch spacing, like that. That is equal to 0, which means basically what this is doing is this dividing how far along we are on the tunnel by the torch spacing and giving us the remainder, if you like. And if the remainder is equal to 0, then this is going to be true, and then we can place our torch. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that have I got that right? Or maybe if it's the torch spacing divided by the progress. No, it's progress divided by torch spacing. But if that's 1, if progress is 1, then it's always going to be true. So we want to make sure we're greater than 1, otherwise we're always going to place the torch right at the beginning, and we don't necessarily want to do that. So if that's true, then we'll place torch. Like so. And then it. Okay. Actually, let's go back into that. I get the feeling that I should probably this tunnel function needs to come down below there, and actually the layer function probably should do as well. Actually no, layer is layer is okay. Tunnel would need to come out, so let's just delete that and rewrite it, because that's not a problem. We'll put that below our torch. We really should have put the torch's stuff above that, but it's not a problem to move. So if it's a function tunnel, and for I equals 1, comma length strip, wasn't it? And actually we want to check torch I, which is going to be the current iteration. Okay, so now when we call our tunnel program, which is down the sides, it's going to check to see if it needs to place a torch, and if it does, it will place a torch. Now the other one we need to move down is this function haul. So it's haul layer as well. So let's delete that, move this down, and we should make sure that any other functions that I want to add in need to go above these two. So function haul length, and this is going to be called layer, and then check torch I again, end and end. Perfect. So now both making a tunnel and doing a haul, it's going to check our torches for us. So what we now need to do is figure out how we're going to tie these hauls and tunnels together. So we want to dig mine sections. Now our mine sections are going to be let me show you. It's as I was saying at the end of the last video. Basically, our mine section is going to be the start of one tunnel to the end of the next. So it's going to be 3. So each mine section is going to be 3. Pretty much. Actually, probably the best way of doing this to make it fuel efficient is actually to make it 6. So we'll dig forward 6, because then we can go up that way and then come back this way and waste less fuel, rather than go down that way, come all the way back and then go down this way. So we'll just come back going that way. So that means that when we're actually setting our turtle up, we want to use multiples of 6, certainly for the main haul length. So our mine sections are going to be, let me just have, I need to double check the script that I wrote before, just to make sure that I'm not messing things up. So where are we? That's the wrong bit. There. So we're going to have a variable here, local sections, and we're going to have that as this is going to be math floor, and actually we need a variable for the actual haul length. So let's define one. Length of the 3x3 haul. let's have that hall length. That works for me. So that's the maths floor, which is basically going to give us an integer, a whole number, whole length over 6. And this is slightly different to the numbers I had on my other program, on my other script. So hopefully this is going to work out better, because I'm actually doing this one. I know where I went wrong with the last one, so I can improve on it with this one. So that is going to give us sections, which is going to be how many times we need to do that. That's chunk of 6 movements, so it's how many of these 6s that we are going to have to make our whole length the length that we've set. So we then want to do a little loop to this is where we will mine section, I guess. So this little bit here is going to be where we combine our layers and tunnels in order to, in fact, where we combine our halls and our tunnels to make that layout that we want. So to start with, we will assume that we're going to start off in the front here. So we're going to start in the middle of the 3x3 hall. So we're going to start off by saying hall, and I think we go 6. Is that how hall is set up? The hall should be doing several layers. Tunnel, hall, yes. So if we call hall 6, that's going to dig a 6x6, a 6 long 3x3 tunnel, and then we want to actually bring the turtle back 5. I think it's 5. 1, 5, do, repeat until the turtle can come back, and then we turn it left, then we go forward, or actually we need to put that as a repeat until, just so that we know that the turtle's gone forward, because otherwise something could get in the way of it and stop it going forward. And then we can do our tunnel, which is going to be tunnel length long. And when we get to the end of that tunnel, what we actually want to do is we want to turn right, because we're now doing the first left hand tunnel. So we want to turn right and go, how far do we want to go? We want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go 5 forward. That's right. So we want to tunnel 5, turn right, then tunnel 5, turn right, tunnel 5, and then we want to go back to place a torch down because we want that back tunnel lit. Turn right again, and then tunnel for tunnel length, which we're going to have to define. Then repeat until go forward, but we actually want to go forward 3 times. So let's just put that as a little equals. So for I equals 1 to 3, do repeat until turtle forward end. So that's going to move it across the end of the tunnel, and then we basically do the same thing again as we've done up here. So actually that there we could pull out into a separate function, couldn't we? Rather than rewrite it all. So that would then be a tunnel section, wouldn't it? It wouldn't really be a tunnel section. Let's just write it out again. So we're going to tunnel length, and then turn right, and then tunnel 5. Actually, that tailed or back 2 doesn't work like that, does it? Pretty sure it doesn't work like that. So let's make sure that we're going back to place a torch, then turn right and tunnel length, and then at the very end we want to end up at the end of our 6 deep hall, or our 6 deep tunnel section, so that we're ready to start the next one. So we want to go forward, then turn right, and actually I need to make sure that this has a repeat until. I'd like to put repeat untils in front of all of my forward and backward movements, just so that we can make sure that the turtle's moved. Turning right, and then I equals 1, come up 5. Is that right? 5. Do repeat until turtle forward. End. Okay. Oh, actually, we need to edit that and add in of each tunnel. So local tunnel length equals, let's go something small at the moment. So let's have this as 6, and the tunnel length as, I don't know, 5. And actually, if I do that, that's not going to do anything, is it? So I need to actually call the function mine section, I think it's called, isn't it? Like that. Let's see where I've messed up. Edit mine line 73. Let's see where I've messed up there. Probably something very, very silly. For I do there. So this should do our now. That's where we started it. Just so that we know. Now hopefully this is going to go forward 6 and then dig our 5 long tunnels on the side, and then stop in the right place as well. That's the hope. So I'm going to watch this for a little bit and I will be right back in a moment and we'll see how far he gets. Okay, he's finished the first section of tunnel and he's placed a torch at the end, which is precisely what we wanted him to do. I am a little concerned that maybe he should have gone a little bit further, but we'll see. Actually, no, I think that's going to work out perfectly. So he's going to come through here, do that. He should have placed the torch at the end. And for some reason he stopped. Why has he stopped? He's too... Maybe he's trying to go forward. So he was stuck on the repeat until bit. So my bit where I've got him crossing the tunnel is obviously a little bit too long. So we can fix that, and let's make sure he comes out in the right place and ends up in the right place. So we may need to adjust some of the numbers. So he should come out here. So no, he's too far over this side. Pretty much, so I need to change this, and the problem there was my crossing the main tunnel. So this for I equals 1 to 3, that needs to be for I equals 1 to 2, and that should now work. So let's turn him left, go forward 1, turn him right, and then mine. And that is hopefully going to do exactly what we want. So once again, I'm going to let him dig this main tunnel, and then we'll come back just as he gets to the end of this and I'll show you the rest. Okay, I think he's just on the last one, so he should place a torch any second and then come back to do his tunnel bits. His side bits, so there's his torch being placed. He comes back, goes off to the left, and this should actually join up with this one. So this will be another test just to make sure that our tunnels are all in the right place. Now it will work okay for this. Oh, look, we're getting universal electricity ores, so we're in the new chunks now, which is perfect. So the only thing that, well, it's not going to line up over this side because 4, 6, it should line up here. This is where we were over 1 too far, so he should come over here instead. With any luck. Come back, place the torch down. Yeah, you see, so we were over too far on that side, and this should now end up directly over that torch. So now if we were to do another mine, he'll go off and work off that torch, which is perfect. So we're going to have nice even tunnels with, well, we don't have torches placed down here at the moment because these are 5 long, and if you remember our spacing was 6. So now all we can do, we can actually define these lengths as we go. So if we print a little bit of feedback, so we'll ask how long should the hall be, like that, and then local hall length can be to number, and we'll read an input. So that will go in as the hall length. Then the length of each tunnel, we can say how long should each side tunnel be. Does that make any sense? Should do. And that's going to be the same thing, so we're going to convert it to a number because initially it's going to be a string, and strings you can't do calculations on, and we will be doing calculations on it later on, of course. So that's going to give us our tunnel length. Torch spacing we can leave as it is, and now what we should do at the top is little bit of instructions. Print, place a single torch in slot 15 and torches in slot 16. Save, exit, and now if we mine, how long should the hall be? Well, it's telling us straight away, place a single torch in slot 15 and a stack of torches in slot 16. So hall should be, let's go for 12, not 122, 12 is fine, and each side tunnel should be, let's say 24. Let's make sure we've got lots of torches, and let's take some of these goodies. So each side tunnel should be 24, and we'll set that going, and I'll stop the video and we'll come back once he's done his first pass, and he's going to do 2 lots of tunnels, so we'll actually see 2 tunnels strung together, but we'll see how it works out with the side tunnels. So see you in a moment. Okay, welcome back, and I've identified another issue with this, and that is when it gets to the end of the tunnel, it's checking to place a torch. So when we call our torch check placings, when we call to check whether we need to place a torch, we probably need to set that to -1. That way, when we set our tunnels the right length, we don't get these odd torches at the end that we don't need. The other problem that I'm sure you can see already is that we actually have issues with overflowing, but he should go off, and luckily he's actually doing the next tunnel in the right place compared to the first section. So as far as actually doing the digging is concerned, the tunnels are going right. I just need to tweak the placement of the torches, and we'll let him finish his current mine section, and then I'll just show you how to change that, which is very easy. Okay, welcome back, and he's finished off his other 2 side tunnels, and I've picked up all the extra torches that we don't want. So let's just edit this program again, and where we call on the tunnel length, what we want to do is we want to check I-1. That's how we want to do it. So as long as we do that, then hopefully that should work fine now. Let's just check how long should the main hall be. Let's do 6, and each side tunnel should be 6, and hopefully he's going to work. So only needs to change one place, and as I said before, we have issues with storage in our turtle, so at least initially I'm not going to deal with that, but I do have a plan for that later on, but we're not quite at the stage where ender chests are going to be viable, so I can't really get an ender chest yet. But eventually what this turtle will do is it will place an ender chest, empty stuff in, pick it up, and then carry on, and that will be perfect if he does that. Now we could set it up to come back to a chest set in a specific location. The thing with doing that though is that you're going to end up using a lot of fuel running around doing that. Okay, so this has gone 6, so normally he would place a torch down here, but he hasn't done because we've told him to check for 1 less than that. Also that means that he shouldn't place a torch down here either. So that seems to have solved that little problem. Fantastic. So there we go, guys. That's the start of the turtle script. We will be visiting that later on, but for now that's going to set up all my mining for me. I can just set him up down here. Eventually I'll get a chunk loader on him as well, and that script there you'll be able to get your hands on as soon as we get to episode 20, and I'll give you another world download. But that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button if you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you either on my live stream or on the next spotlight or video that you watch. Thanks for watching.